What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Shocker Racing Garage. I'm James, and today we are going to be working on our original Mojito Jeep. Many of you guys already know this, but Kim and I sold our original 2018 Jeep Wrangler JL to Kim's parents. They've had it for about a year now, and recently, as the temps started to drop here in the Chicagoland area, they have noticed that the heated seat has become an issue. What's been happening is when you activate the heated seat on the dash by pushing the button, the driver's side heated seat will randomly turn itself off at different intervals. Sometimes it's 1 minute, sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it'll just stay on. So it's very intermittent. So I've been doing some research on what might be causing the heated seat to be turning itself off, and with some help from Rhinebeck01 on the JL Wrangler forums, he kind of headed me down the path that it's going to end up being the actual heated seat element inside the seats. So he was able to give me the part numbers for the heated seat element for both the bottom of the seat and the back of the seat. So I picked them both up. I will put the part numbers in the description below. These are Mopar heated seat elements, so I got them from the Jeep dealer. I want to say it was around $140 for both pieces. So we're gonna get ready to remove the seat and show you guys how to take apart the seat to be able to replace these heated seat elements inside. So the first thing we're gonna do is remove the door just to be able to make it easier to work to get the seat out. And then we're also gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery just for safety, because there is an airbag in the side of the seat there. So we don't want any issues with that. And then we can, once we get the seat out, we can show you how to take it all apart. All right, so first thing you're gonna need is a T50 torque socket, and we're gonna just start removing the bolts here. I'm gonna break them all loose by hand, and then we could use the power ratchet once they're loose. All right, and then moving to the back, there's just two more on the back of the seat here, same size, and they didn't seem like they were super tight in the front, so I'm just gonna try to break them loose with the ratchet. All right, so now I'm just gonna tip the seat back so I can get access to the plug underneath so that we can get the seat out. Okay, so right here, there's just one plastic clip that I'm gonna use my trim removal tools to pop out. And then all we're gonna have to do is you're gonna pop this little red tab here, pop that out, and then we should be able to squeeze this and disconnect the clip. So I'm gonna pop this harness out of the seat here just to give me a little better access to disconnect it. All right. Okay, so now that we've got the main harness disconnected, you do need to disconnect the yellow, which is for your airbag connection. So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna flip this red clip out, and then once it's out, you can kind of squeeze and push and release, and now it's disconnected. All right, so I'm gonna kind of shift the seat forward on the track all the way forward, and then lean the back of the seat forward to give more clearance for it to come out of the Jeep. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is unhook these bungee straps here. These just hold the back of the seat down, and just release both of those. And then you're gonna wanna tip the seat back forward. So with these bungee straps done, you can bring them up and hook them on the back of the seat. That'll keep this folded up out of your way. And that'll give you access to these couple of screws here. So they're just Phillips screws. So you've got one here, and then there's one on the other side right here. And then the third screw you're gonna wanna get is on the inside of the seat towards like what would be the center. There's one more screw right inside here, another Phillips. Then that should just pop right off. All right, so you're gonna just unhook that there. This is on the inner side of the seat. And then you've got some clips. So you'll want a nice pry tool further there. One, so you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Those just pulled out pretty easy. And you can see we're already getting close to having access to the foam underneath the leather seat cover. And then you've got some clips, just kind of hooks under. So up in the corner here, we couldn't see it, but this little plastic clip actually goes around the plastic here and pops through this little slot, right? That's what you were saying, Tom? Mm-hmm. So it kind of wraps around and under and into that slot there. And now this corner of the seat is pretty much loose, other than we haven't taken this off. We may not do that, but that should give us enough room, I think, to see. You know, it should give us enough access to the hog rings there. Yep. Okay, so now that we've got access with the seat cover kind of folded up, we've got the hog rings in there, and we're gonna actually just cut them off to release because we've got new ones to replace it with. And you can see this is the heated seat element right here. So it's getting us access to that. So that's 3 that you've cut so far, Tom? Yep. 4, 5. 6. All right, and then back down here. That's 7, right? So I just wanted to show now that we've got these mostly cut. We're gonna have to get to another one right over here still so that we can get this old pad out, which is stuck down, so we'll peel it up. And then once we can get this whole piece out of here, we can put the new one down, which I believe the new one is, you can kind of see the part number information here. Basically what they've done is there's an update to the part number. So it still ends in 4071, but it's an AD instead of AC. So I think that's the most updated seat element. Okay, so there's one more ring here that we need to cut. So as of right now, we have taken off, cut 9 of the hog rings. You want to show all 9?
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 8. 8 in the back, and then 9 in the middle.
Okay. So 9 total so far. Yep. So the next step then is just to start peeling off because it's glued down, the original heated seat element. Yeah. So now that we peeled up the elements from the seats, you can see the wire comes through, we're underneath. The wire comes through here. It's clipped on here and here, so we're gonna disconnect this. You pull this red tab, and then as always, you kind of push and squeeze. And then we gotta pop that tab off. And then you'll be able to feed that through and pull the whole element. So we're gonna pull the element through. All right, so we got the new element here, and Tom's gonna start feeding the wire harness through underneath to the back. Here, if you can. Just pulling it through underneath, and then now that he's got it through, just gonna kind of feed it. There you go. We obviously just want to get it into position, and then we can peel this and stick it back down. Okay, so now we got the element kind of sitting in here nice and flush. We're gonna just lift up and try to reach all the way to the back and start peeling the sticker elements here. So let's try to get it to lay flat here. There we go, perfect. Okay, and then that'll tuck down in there. Once we get this, and you can see there's a little V here, where it kind of like where we peeled, so that marks it right in the center there, which is nice. So Tom brought over his hog ring pliers and some extra hog rings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description so you can order a set of these on Amazon. They're like 17 bucks and they come with a bunch of assorted different sizes of hog rings. Tom just happened to have all this, so I didn't need to order any of those, but I'll put a link to Amazon for that. What's nice about these rings,
they're spring loaded, which is nice. So the ring just sits in there and then it holds it in there, so you don't have to try to keep pressure on it or anything. So
you'll be able to just kind of reach down into the seat and squeeze it. So we're going to start by putting the hog ring on the hardest one, the one in the back there where we can't really show as well. But Tom's just going to reach back through and kind of clip it back around what we cut off.
So you kind of get it started, hooked on in there, not even having to hold it. You can kind of see it goes around that yellow piping, and you just squeeze. Take the pliers out, and now that is in there.
So we're just going to continue along. So we've done the one in the back, this one here, we've got 3 across here, and then we've got just this side.
So again, you start it, and you just push down to that yellow piping down there. Once you're down to it, squeeze.
Nice and easy.
All right, so last one here. All right, that is the last one.
Okay, so now that we have finished with the bottom of the seat, we're gonna move on to the back of the seat, but we're still gonna leave it kind of loose. We'll tighten everything up when we're done. We gotta remove the Moly panel off the back of the Rubicon seat. So these are just gonna pop off. Just like that, it's off. So if you don't have a Rubicon seat with the Moly panel on the back, there will actually be a zipper down the side that you can unzip. Greg's a creeper. You can just unzip it up here and that'll give you access to the side of the seat. So on the back of the seat here, you're gonna start unclipping things here. You've got some clips here and here, here and here. This just kind of flips up and releases. Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
I didn't get that.
Hey, Siri. So those came off pretty easy. And yeah, there's some here and there. Got it?
Yep. So it's almost like you need to roll it off. There you go. Okay. So you roll it and then pop it off.
So this one just hooks up in there. You just pull it down and unclip. So next we lean the seat back to give us more room to work here in the middle. So Tom's feeding the bottom of the seat through as he's pulling up through the top here.
So we decided to take off this airbag wire, and it's just clipped in here now that the seat's out. It's not plugged into anything. So
there's a bunch of clips holding this wire.
Here, and it just goes up. And
yeah, and the reason we're doing that is because it does actually feed through. Flip the seat up again, guys. So this wire actually goes through the seat here. So we're gonna pull it through so that we can then peel the seat back, the seat cover up. So he just pulled the harness out, all the clips, and then we're just gonna feed it through the back of the seat.
Just go ahead and feed it through.
So now we just kind of feed the heated seat cable or wire through.
Pull that red tab, push in, squeeze, and pull.
All right, so now the cover should be free for us to pull it through to the front. Okay, so we only have 6 of the hog rings left, and we think we're gonna need about 10 in here in the back of the seat. So we're gonna try to save 4 of these by just prying them open and with some needle nose pliers. And then if we can save 4 of them, then we should be good. We can replace the other 4. So we're just gonna try to pry them open and then be able to twist them off. All right, so we saved these 2 here, but we're gonna cut these ones, and we're hoping that we can avoid having to go further up in the seat. So we're gonna cut these 2.
See how easy it was to cut, guys?
Cutting is definitely easier than trying to pry them apart, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, and we just decided to cut this one here to give us a little bit more room to pull the seat cover up. That'll give us a lot more room to work here and pull the old one out and get the new one in. So what we decided to do on this, as you can see, we're peeling it out of here. At the top, there's 2 more rings up there. If we weren't short on hog rings, we would have probably pulled the seat cover up further. But we ended up just like kind of tearing this. Show it here, Greg. All right, so we're working this one down and off, but what we decided to do is to save from having to like cut the top 2 hog rings because we're running short on them. We just tore this pad around, and we're gonna peel this one off, and when we go to put the new one on, we're just gonna snip these at the top. Because it won't be important because the rest of it's just going to stick down, so we won't need these. These don't do anything at the top. And we just got to finish peeling it down and pull it through. So we got the new one here, same as the bottom. It's got the sticky stuff on it. Just feeding it through. So on this one, we're going to start peeling from the bottom and work our way up the seat as we go. We've kind of marked where the stickiness needs to go. So now we just hog ring it up. All right, now we can just start working on putting everything back together and closing everything up in the seat. Don't forget to feed your wires back through.
So it's this.
Yep, that little guy there.
The top hole, not this hole here.
Okay. So we just thought while we got this open, we'd show how the lumbar support works. And when you twist the dial on the side, all it does is push that in. Kind of cool. So don't forget to connect the airbag and the heated seat. All right, so that's gonna wrap things up here for this heated seat element replacement. We're gonna test things out over the next week or 2, make sure every time he drives it that he turns on the heated seat and make sure that it does stay on, because the issue we were having prior was intermittent, so we're just gonna make sure. But otherwise, this is not the easiest install in the world, definitely a little tedious and a little nerve-wracking taking open a seat, but overall it wasn't too bad. Just make sure you buy a bunch of the hog rings so that you don't run out like we were running out. I will put a link in the description for the hog ring pliers and some hog rings so you're prepared and ready to go when you tackle this project. So if this video helped you out, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, comment below if you do have any other questions, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.